What's up everyone, it's Scotty with MoneyVest. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly my thesis and my reasons why I'm planning to pick up more shares of this particular ETF. I've already started a new position and I'm planning to buy more throughout the course of 2024. And this is going to be a brand new experiment with the fourth ETF that I am planning to start. The first one was VUG. I'm up a little bit over 16 to 20%. The second one was SMH, which is a semiconductor ETF. I'm up a little bit over 35 to 40%, given how strong the rallies have been in semiconductors and chip stocks. The third one was cybersecurity, CIBR. And since I first picked up the stock, the ETF is up over 12 to as much as 15%. And this is going to be the fourth one that I'm planning to buy more of in 2024. We'll continue to build out that position and kind of go over my reasoning as to why I feel like this particular part of the market still continues to be undervalued, has a lot of potential. So hope you all enjoy this video and find it helpful. If you do, make sure that you drop a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Links to our Discord and Patreon is going to be down below if you're interested in joining us and of course getting access to all the members only private videos. I recently posted a brand new members only private videos going over 12 stocks that I'm planning to buy with my exact buy targets. So you can go and watch this, my entire shopping list. It's a very long 18-minute video along with ETFs that I'm planning to buy, as well as some tactical trades that are going to be very useful the next time markets do see a bit of a pullback. And I also want to mention that all the Patreon members are going to have the early access to the beta launch that is going to happen for the moneyvest.com platform and software. It's going to be best in class fundamental analysis and macro analysis software out there. So link's going to be down below if you want to join and be a part of our community. And also do connect with me on Instagram. My handle is going to be CASWRP as well. I did open up a couple more spots, by the way, for the month of February, and that 16% annual discount is also available if you want to take advantage of that. So the ETF is going to be IWM, and that is going to be iShares Russell 2000 ETF. Dollar cost averaging into this frequently. I've got about 43 shares, up a little bit over 2.6%, so just over $220. And again, the idea is that IWM, in my opinion, is at a very reasonable level. Of course, ideally, I would have wanted to pick this ETF in the 160s, 161, 162, around those levels. That is still the more important level of support, and that's exactly where I would be a lot more heavier and a lot more aggressive in dollar cost averaging at those prices. Since that level, of course, it's rallied over 20 to 23%. Better late than never to the party, I would say. And this right here is where the resistance currently sits. We're going to circle back to the resistance and the technical analysis in just a minute. But as we already know, that IWM did not perform well compared to the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ in the last 1 year. I mean, if you come take a look, the last 3-year return, it's actually down almost 11%. Last 1 year, it's only up 2.6%. So it's actually done really poorly, and year to date, it's basically flat. It hasn't really gone anywhere. If you compare this to S&P 500, so S&P 500 last 3-year return, it doesn't show that, but 1 year it's over 21%, and year to date it's already up close to 6%. And NASDAQ, I feel like, is also going to be significantly higher. It's just been ripping higher. 1 year return of 32%, year to date already up 7.5% so far. So IWM, small caps, which is over 2,000 companies, it's part of the Russell 2000 index, of course, has been very much underappreciated. It's been unloved, and as a result, I do believe there's a lot of opportunity here, considering that there is still the technology sector, semiconductors and chips continue to be very, very overcrowded. And if there's ever a time in the future the markets start to kind of rotate out of this area into small caps, which is, again, according to Tom Lee as well, seems to be very overlooked, that's an area that I do believe has a lot of potential, like I said, in 2024 and beyond that as well. So an overlooked area of the stock market could soar 60% in 2024 with valuations signaling a big run ahead, Fundstrat says. So, Tom Lee basically mentioned in an interview that small cap stocks could soar as much as 60% this year thanks to compelling valuations relative to the S&P 500. And I think the small caps could make a bigger move than large cap stocks, 50 to 60%. I think Russell 2000 could end the year above 3,000 points. Lee said the Russell 2000 traded around 1,900 at the time of the recording. And right now, if you take a look, RUT is a Russell 2000 US small cap. It's trading at around 2,000 at the moment, right? So it hasn't really moved much. And going up to 3,000 is going to be a 50% gain from its current levels, right? So 50% exactly. That's the potential that I'm betting on for 2024. And he also says that small caps relative to the S&P 500 on a price to book basis is back to where it was in 1999, which was the absolute low and was a launch point of 12 years of outperformance for small caps. Now, this particular paragraph, I even showed this in my previous video on small caps before I actually started this experiment of buying. I basically showed you guys a chart, which was this. This right here is the chart, very specifically what Tom Lee's also talking about. Of course, he's talking about price to book ratio, which is a little bit more fundamental backed. This is a little bit of a technical backed thesis, which basically shows us that we are right now on a relative performance basis exactly where we were back in 1999 and early 2000s, which was obviously that launch point for the outperformance from Russell 2000 against the S&P 500 for 12 years straight. So this is where the Russell 2000 basically peaked, and this was in 2012 to 2013. This is where Russell 2000 peaked relative to the S&P 500 before seeing that decline and that underperformance. So what he's specifically mentioning there is that we are at the same level as where we were, which was the launch point of that next 12 years of outperformance. So if that continues, this right here is the potential outperformance that is possible for Russell 2000. And then, of course, finally, Lee has called small cap stocks his best idea for 2024, in part because of the idea that participation in the ongoing stock market rally is improving and is no longer concentrated in just mega cap tech stocks. However, I kind of disagree that in the last 1 month, this has continued to happen. There's been more concentration and more rallies in mega cap tech stocks and, of course, semiconductors. If so-called breadth improves in the stock market, then the small cap stocks should catch a bid, is what Lee also mentioned in 2024. And there was also another sort of report from UBS mentioning that U.S. small cap outlook remains bright for 2024. Thought of the day, equity markets have got off on an uncertain start to the year after a strong rally in the final months of 2023. Despite a 1.4% rise on Monday, the S&P is close to flat so far this year with a decline of 0.4%. So this is, of course, a little bit of a dated report from January 10th. But the idea is that this caution has been mostly clearly expressed in small cap stocks, with Russell 2000 down 2.9% and S&P small cap gain index is down about 3.2% as well. So these are some of the reasons why small caps could benefit in 2024. Lower rates benefit small cap companies even more than large cap peers. Earnings growth likely to accelerate faster for smaller companies, and relative valuations are attractive for small caps. So these are the big three thesis points or reasonings why there is a bull case for small caps in 2024. And that's exactly one of the reasons why I will be looking at dollar cost averaging a little bit more into IWM, which is again an ETF that tracks the Russell 2000. And this is going to be the entire technical breakdown. Now, if I come back a little bit, so if you go over to the weekly chart and pull back on the chart, what you'll notice is that this has been the overall monthly time frame of IWM, and it has been consistently in this pattern of higher highs and higher lows. So if I bring this up a little bit more, so this right here has been the overall higher highs and higher lows, consistently moving up with very, very few instances that it drops a little bit further. And that's usually times of chaos and times of havoc, but other times it kind of bounces off of these initial support, that's the higher low that it kind of bounces off of, right? And that's exactly where we currently are. We're bouncing off of that support once again. So resistance wise, we are approaching that resistance again at $200. So $200, very, very important level of resistance. We're yet to break out above this. So this is going to be the level to keep in mind. And the moment we do break out above this, 224 to as much as $233 is going to be that next resistance and target to watch. And of course, a bigger breakout over 233, 235 can lead us to a new all-time high. And Tom Lee, of course, expects $300 to be the target for small caps moving forward. So that is still going to be a level to keep in mind. That, of course, is going to be a nice 40 to 50% rally for small caps moving forward. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Of course, lower potential interest rates, earnings acceleration, better bottom line profits, and then of course not to mention cheaper valuations, all kind of create a very nice dynamic and an environment for small caps to potentially do well in 2024. And as a result, I will continue to dollar cost average into this ETF on a more frequent basis, and we'll see where we end up in a year from today. As always, make sure that you drop a like. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and also do check out our Patreon if you want to get access to all the members only videos. Connect with me on Instagram as well. My handle is going to be CASWRP, and also get access to all the trade alerts, ideas, binds alerts, options alerts. Everything's going to be included with the link down below. Happy investing. I'll see you all in the next video.